ever wondered if this world has just gone ape shit crazy? I was just trying to buy an adapter. You know, I figured I should be able to buy it locally somewhere. A very simple adapter. It's actually the opposite of this one here. Extremely old adapter here. Instead of it being a female USB, it'd be a male USB, and then this part would be female, okay? Which is called a PS/2. So I'm calling around trying to find this stupid connector so I can connect a keyboard to a new computer. And guess what? Not one place in all of my town, my city I live in, has this part. Not one place. All the Radio Shacks have closed except for one. The one that's still open said they sold out of this particular adapter I'm trying to buy about a year ago. I called Best Buy asking for a USB to PS/2 converter adapter, and they send me to video games because they think I'm talking about PlayStation 2. Yeah, they don't really know anything about connectors. You know, they hire some dude from high school, okay, that knows how to play video games. Okay, that's, you know what I mean? So, and then I asked Best Buy if they have this. No, we don't have any in the store. We just have them on our website where you can buy them from a third party. Then, I'm thinking, okay, this is really terrible. So I call a unique music company local to my city that's quite famous, and he says, no, we don't have that type of adapter either, because I pretty much run out of all places I could call. No one has a stupid adapter in this city. You can't buy it anywhere. So then I go over to Amazon. I go to Best Buy, you know, and all you have is this marketplace version. Let's see if I can shrink it so you can see. It's sold by another company. Okay, so then I go over to Amazon, and every freaking seller is in freaking China or Hong Kong or Singapore on the first 2 pages. And of course, they're super cheap ass, and you know that, you know, I don't know if you know how they do this, but they made it so that the U.S. government made it so that they could easily ship something from China to USA for extremely cheap. Called via e-packet, it's called. Okay, the U.S. government particularly made it so they could ship something extremely cheap, underneath the cost of actually shipping it from China to USA, on purpose, so people could buy shit from China for really cheap and get it shipped to us. Even accessories, even little adapters and things like that. So we have all these Chinese sellers who are taking advantage of this, basically loss of funds when you ship it. Okay, it might cost $3 to actually ship it, human work or more, to ship it from China to here. But our government made it so that they could actually pay less than it requires for them to work. The labor actually costs more. You see what I mean? So in other words, we're actually losing money on a governmental level. USPS is losing money doing this, but they do it anyways. I don't know. You explain that one. Okay, so all these freaking sellers are freaking Hong Kong, China, Singapore, Taiwan, whatever, any company, any place, anywhere overseas like that. Oh, I found one. Did you see that? It was California, and there's Texas, so I can actually buy one from Texas. But I want it right now. Why was I looking in the town? Because I have a deadline. I need to have it working, you know, certain time. But I can't get the part unless I freaking have it shipped to me from China, which takes like 30 freaking days sometimes, or depending on how they ship it. If they ship it e-pack, it'll only take like, at best, a week. At best a week. It could easily take 2 weeks. But I could buy from California or Texas or Illinois here. My question is, can I get it express mail? Yeah, this one actually has express. So that's my only option. I can't actually buy it from any vendor in my own city. A pretty big city. It's under 1 million people, but it's still pretty freaking huge. So that's kind of where we're at now. You can no longer buy adapters anywhere locally because they're all shipped from China, because our U.S. government made it so they could ship it for less cost than it actually takes labor-wise to ship it to you. You don't think this is undercutting American labor and jobs, do you? I don't know, man. Now, of course, if you can't beat them, join them. So I actually ship stuff from China myself. But the thing is like, you have to ask yourself, why is it that the government made it so they could ship it for so cheap? And why was it Walmart that actually pushed all these jobs over to China? Walmart is the company, the culprit, that actually forced vendors to make things for cheaper. And if they wouldn't, they would cancel their contracts with them and would stop taking their vendor items into their store. They started doing that back in 2000. That's when all the shit hit the fan with this. And that's when all the manufacturing went overseas. And it was actually purposely done. I saw an interview with someone from Huffy Bikes, and they were forced to manufacture overseas, because if they didn't, they would lose most of their business, because Walmart wouldn't buy their bikes anymore. So it's because of Walmart we have a lot of manufacturing over in China now. And the reason why it was quickly moved over like that was because of Walmart. You see what I mean? Isn't that awesome? So, but hey, so I figured to myself, these companies that moved all their labor over to China, if we can't get a job working for these factories anymore, we should be able to buy from China and ship it to our customers, right? Seeing that they took our jobs. So I figured I might as well start doing that. So I started selling stuff. But then these companies are a bunch of, they're trying to stop people from selling stuff online and getting it from China, because they want you to pay full price. They want you to pay $50 when they only spent $3 making it in China. They want you to spend $50 over here. Isn't that cool how they do that? So that's my little rant. I just bought a computer, another one. I have a few of them here. I got a laptop and a couple computers, and I was replacing a really old computer. It's so old. It's like you had to wait for it to load, and then if you try to even move the mouse too fast, it might lock up. That's how old it was. It was so old, it's retarded. I was like, I should have thrown that thing away a long time ago. But so I got a new computer here. Well, it's not new. It's newish, I guess you could say. It's new to me. I have a computer here I just bought, and I wanted to get a connector so I could hook this damn keyboard I have already onto it, and I can't even connect it, and I can't buy a connector anywhere. I have to wait maybe potentially a week just so I could use a computer I bought. Isn't that stupid? That's so stupid. Oh my goodness, seriously. Okay, so I call literally every freaking place in my city, no joke. I'm serious. I think I pretty much almost called every single store, and there's one that actually still had one in stock, and it's really expensive. So I actually did find the item in my city. I had to spend forever looking for it. I don't know, maybe that was an hour. Called pretty much every place, even places that you wouldn't think would sell something like that. I finally found some place that sold it. It was like a miracle. I was like, what the heck, But it cost a lot of money, and at this point, I just want to buy it. So I finally have this thing. I don't have to wait a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks to get the stupid ass thing in the mail, because it's being shipped from China, or it's being shipped by some company on Amazon that takes, has a huge range in which it can be shipped to you. You know what I mean? Radio Shack is very likely to go extinct soon. This company spent the last decade trying to save itself. And this guy is an overworked employee that was working there, and he's complaining about Black Friday. It's actually kind of funny. Okay, so he goes and he has to wake up early on Black Friday. We show up an hour and a half before the store opens, as demanded by the district office. We line up in expectation of hordes of customers. 6 on one side of the store, 6 on the other side. 7 a.m. Nobody has walked into the store. Nobody has been seen walking past the store. This infuriates the manager, who is at a juncture. Elects to fire one of the employees right there on the spot, because her sweater is a shade of red that is inconsistent with the dress code. Someone almost walks in. She kind of turns towards the store, sees 11 of us just standing and staring at her, and then turns 180 degrees. 9 a.m. First customer. Someone just walked in and bought a cordless phone battery. One of us made approximately 23 cents after taxes. Except you don't start making any sales commission until you surpass a monthly sales figure. That is usually unreachable and arbitrarily set. 12 a.m. We've just sold 90 worth of stuff. 2 more employees walk out and don't come back. 2 p.m. A couple comes in to return a pair of cell phones. I sold them a couple weeks back. I received about 40 from the sale on my last paycheck. Now they will take 40 out of my next paycheck. Voiding a cell phone contract in the process. And it takes an hour or so of waiting on the phone talking to 3 or 4 gatekeepers, this time even longer, because someone errantly slapped them with a $200 cancellation fee. My manager gets a wind of this and starts screaming at me, "John, what did you do? What the fuck did you do?" She then tries to initiate a shouting match with the customers. 3 p.m., 2 more employees quit. One because the manager has refused to give her a lunch break over a 10.5-hour shift. 9 p.m., mercifully, and with the sales numbers that are beyond abysmal, the district office tells us to close the store and not to remain open until midnight as planned. Someone else came in to return a phone, so now my sales are now 60 in the hole. I make $5.45 an hour and have worked 16.5-hour shift, so that's about $90 minus the 60 I've lost. That's 30. So today I've made $1.80 an hour for a shift of nearly 17 hours. 9:45, ha ha ha. I am still at the store counting the money and helping clean up and such, but not getting paid for it. This is Radio Shack's thing. If you're going to work while the store's closed, they might decide to pay you, they might not. I work countless hours, they never paid me for this one. We finally close up on the way to the parking lot. I asked my manager whether I can take Christmas Eve off. This would allow me to barely enough time to make a 7-hour drive home to Kentucky to see my family, then head back. She doesn't say no, she yells no and tells me I'm not special. Story paints that the store manager is the worst woman on earth, which I swear is not true. She has a good heart. She's a heart of a good person and has major stress anxiety issues. Radio Shack manager is just about the worst person or position for a person with those issues, or any person being a manager made. Obviously, this guy has a little bit of issues. It sounds like the standard person complaining about a job. But, you know, obviously with Radio Shack losing so much business, it doesn't make exactly for the best working atmosphere during those times. But from what I understand, they still are in business. They just had to close a bunch of stores. And you know what I hope doesn't happen? I hope they don't close them all. You know why? Because, okay, let me just paint a picture for you. Blockbuster used to be the place that I would go to get movies. Now, of course, this is a different topic, but it's the same concept. All of them are basically gone because Redbox put them out of business. Redbox is that stupid-ass machine that feeds you like an ATM a movie. And guess what? It's got all the movies you've already seen. It's like the shittiest thing ever. It's so irritating, okay? I never see a movie I wanted to see from Redbox. I literally, every time I've ever gotten a movie from Redbox, almost every single time, it's some B movie, because I've already seen all the A movies that they have available, because they're just like, you know, there's like 10 of them, and they're like a year old, and everybody's freaking seen them all already. And the only ones they got left are B movies. And then you go and you're like, oh man, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know. I haven't checked the reviews. This could be a shitty movie. And you get the movie and it's a shitty movie, just like you expected. And that's what's happened to me every time I went to Redbox. That's why I never use Redbox, because it sucks. So there's no more Blockbuster. I used to love going to Blockbuster because you always could find something good there. No more Blockbuster. Definitely no people you're going to be talking to. You know, nobody helping you out, or nobody you can just shoot the breeze with. You're just talking to some stupid-ass ATM machine, and they got like 20 movies in the damn thing. Instead of 20,000 movies, they got 20 freaking movies in the stupid Redbox. And anybody who actually is an avid watcher of movies have already seen every single freaking one of them. I mean, you don't even really have to try. I mean, you could just watch a movie once a week, and you've already seen all the movies in the stupid Redbox. Okay, now I know some people don't ever watch movies, and they're like sitting there like 4 months. I haven't been to a movie theater in like half a year or a year. I never sit down and watch any movies at all, so Redbox is convenient for me because, hey, I haven't seen any of those movies. Yeah, because you never freaking watch any. You know what I mean? That's sort of like my brother. You know, he never watches any freaking movie ever, hardly. He finally gets a chance to watch a movie. It's usually once every 6 months, and he can go to Redbox and get one that he hasn't seen. But everybody else who's ever likes to watch movies on a regular basis, at least once a week, have already seen every freaking movie in the Redbox. So there's no point in getting a video from it. And because there's no other options, there are no more Blockbusters, there are no more places you can go that actually have more than 20 movies in them, you're pretty much screwed. So what's left? You got YouTube. You got like illegal uploads of movies to YouTube you can watch. I mean, seriously, that's that and like, you know, downloading movies you're not supposed to download or something, you know, or maybe you can use Netflix. I have Netflix. Yeah, but that usually has it's not really a bunch of movies. Netflix is like a bunch of series and movies that are already like a year or two old. And usually the series are like back some, you know, like ones you've already seen because they're already on TV. Netflix is kind of like, you know, the stuff you missed. It's not like the stuff you want to watch. Of course, I just heard about a news service that sounded kind of interesting. I just saw it, a commercial for it. I can't even remember the name. Something Angel TV or something. I can't even remember the name of it. I saw the commercial like a day or two ago. And it's about where you can get a brand new movie and you can buy it for $20 and then you can return it and get $18 back and you only paid $2. And then you can go around and use those credits to rent more movies or buy movies. And they're all HD, you know, they're all, I mean, Blu-ray, you know, type movies. So it's kind of interesting. That might be a good system. I haven't checked it out yet, but you see what I'm saying? There's like this big gaping hole. For anybody who really actually goes and watches movies, there's really nothing there anymore. You just got this silly-ass ATM machine, you know, and it's like an ATM machine. The ATM machine can't give you 1s and 5s. It can't give you anything but a freaking 20. You know what I mean? It's like, you take this or leave it. You know what I mean? It's the same with these Redbox. You're like, you can watch this movie. You know, this is like the only movie we have available. It's pretty pathetic.